Hey everybody, I just wanted to give my thoughts on the video game console market uh, right now and where it's at. Um, I'm assuming Sony's just beating up on Microsoft left and right. So I'll explain my lineage. And if you watch Blake Stone podcast episode 5, I talk about this, but I kind of wanted like a separate video where I can talk about it. So I got a PS2 back in the day, and at some point years down the road, I got an Xbox, like a few years later, and I got the Xbox because I wanted to play games like Halo and Halo 2 and Ninja Gaiden and stuff like this, but Splinter Cell. But also, I wanted to play third-party games with a better controller and with better graphics. I didn't like the PlayStation 2 controller. I thought the placement of the thumbsticks were bad. I thought it was a bad controller for shooters. I thought it was a bad console for shooters. Like, you had nothing to play if you like shooters on there. You had Killzone and Red Faction. Like, so the PS3 gets announced, and it's like, $600, and so I'm not buying that. Get an Xbox 360, and a lot of people followed. A lot of people did the same thing because nobody was down to paying all that goddamn money for a PS3. Like $600 back then, hell no. So Xbox just beat the shit out of my PlayStation, and so we then end up with, man, this is not. We then end up with the Xbox One, and I think Sony, Microsoft, I mean, even hired the same guy that Sony had, that came up with all their terrible business decisions. I don't know why, but either way, they ended up putting out the Xbox One with the was it the Connect that thing came with? I can't even remember what it's called, but people didn't like it, and people didn't like spending an additional $100, and everybody knew that Sony was a good brand. They just had problems with pricing in the past, but everyone fell in line with Sony. Everyone got a PS4. Microsoft completely gave it away. They focused on cable and all these other fucking features and didn't give people the games. So that whole generation was lost. Um, they canned the Connect. Which I thought was sad. I didn't think they needed to can it. I just think they needed some games at a lower price point. They needed to give away that Connect for free. Regardless, so the Series X comes out. Oh, excuse me. Well, these series consoles come out, and the Series X is powerful, and the Series S is a good console for the price, and so I get one, thinking, not on launch, but like, a year or two in, and fucking, I thought because Microsoft bought everything, they would get the games, but they did not. They're not getting many games at all that anybody wants to play. Like, can we name a Microsoft exclusive that's really like grabbing people's attention? Like, I can't think of one. I enjoy playing Gears, but like, I think I'm over Gears. You know, I don't know how much I can continue to care about Gears and Halo. It's just not enough to carry the console. And people are not totally happy with Halo Infinite and how that turned out. I think Halo Infinite is a lot better than Halo has been, but it's not enough. So, and Sony just keeps getting games that Xbox is not getting, and it's very frustrating because it's like, if you had to pick between one of these two consoles, I couldn't tell you to get an Xbox. I would feel bad because where are the games? Um, Doom Eternal was a bust. Starfield was a bust. They really put a lot of eggs in their fucking Starfield basket. That's my guess. Um, but regardless, it's it's pretty sad seeing what's happened to Microsoft, and then they just laid off like close to 700 more employees or something like that, like 650 people at least. It's sad. So now the PS4 5 Pro is announced, and it's $700 plus another $80 for a disc drive. That no one's gonna want that if they want a high-end console. A lot of people are just gonna keep buying the PS5 standard edition. They really should have dropped the price of the PS5 standard so they could sell this new one for $100 less than they're currently selling it at least. Um, it's just, if you're playing video games right now, economically you're getting fucked. Like, it's just, games are $70. These consoles just, like, the PS5 is a decent console, but it's just, the inflation's not bringing these prices down to where they should be. I think they need to just eat the loss. I don't know what Microsoft's gonna do to get people to buy consoles. I mean, they gotta fire Phil Spencer. Like, they gotta do something, right? Or they need to hire a new guy and move Phil Spencer, because they gotta get someone on the phone making sure Sony is not also getting on the phone and saying, hey, give us some scratch, and we'll make your game a console exclusive over here. Make sure Microsoft won't get it. We'll give you the cash, because Microsoft's not going to make money. You know, they're not selling game. How many Xboxes are out there? Like, I think that was the point of Game Pass and selling all their shit on PC, was to supplement the people that don't want an Xbox, that just want to go to a PC. Because Phil Spencer, he's like, oh, we don't care if you go to PC, but, which is fair, giving people choice, but if you continue to give people less and less reasons to buy an Xbox and go to PC, like, I don't know. And then you just gotta hope they get Game Pass and not just buy everything on Steam. Like, if you're, like, I have Game Pass, like, I kind of don't know why. You know, all I play is Call of Duty, right? And now Call of Duty's on Game Pass, but, like, I could just buy that game. I could just buy that game and not pay for Game Pass, because I'm not playing Halo, I'm not playing Gears, I'm not playing fuck else. But I might need it to play multiplayer, so it's just, Xbox owners are just getting fucked. So I don't know. I might switch to PlayStation next time, because if someone came to me, what should I buy, a PlayStation or an Xbox? I'd say PlayStation. Like, what reason would I give these people to buy an Xbox? So anyway, that's just my 2 cents. This PlayStation 5 Pro is too much money. It sucks that you got to get ripped off to get both performance and resolution. And what's someone gonna do? Go, well, I'll just get a Series X and play nothing? Have nothing to play? You won't have Helldivers. That was a huge one. I know that's a Sony game, Sony exclusive, like a first party game, I believe. But there's also plenty of games that should be on everything that aren't, that are on a PlayStation. So if you're thinking of spending $800 on a console, get a PC. Like I don't know, man. Like that's just real close to a decent PC price. You know, I don't know how the hardware will compare, but that's too much to pay for a console without a drive, right? Like you need the drive in the console because, for example, I just bought Star Wars Outlaws. It was 30%. It was like $30 off, and I got it on disc. Now, if I'm on PC, I might hope for a Steam sale. Xbox is not going to get as good of sales as Steam is all the time. So when you don't have a disk drive on your PC, it doesn't hurt as much, right? If you don't have a disk drive on your console, you don't get as many sales. So I got $30 off by buying it on disc. If I had a PlayStation 5 Pro and I wanted Star Wars Outlaws, well, that deal existed across the board. But point is, like, well, no, yeah, if I had PlayStation 5 Pro, wanted Star Wars Outlaws, and saw that deal, I couldn't get it. I'd be like, well, fuck it. I have to spend another $30, or yeah, or spend an extra $30 to buy that fucking drive, and then get your $30 off on Star Wars. It's stupid. Just put the drive in the console. Is it really worth it to Sony to get that $80 and then another 20 for a stand? Like clearly 80 plus 20 is 100, and they want to get an additional $100 off that console, and they want to give you an illusion of choice. But that's clear math to me. 80 plus 20 for a stand, that's 100 to make a $700 console $800. So, but Microsoft is offering no competition. I'm sure there would be plenty of people that would just not buy it, and it would be like the PlayStation 3 all over again, where people would just buy a ton of Xboxes. But this time, there's no games to play on the Xbox unless you're crazy into Call of Duty, and that's mostly what you want, and you're okay with watching Sony get the games, the rest of the games, and not Xbox consoles. So anyway, that's just my rant.